Hi! Welcome again to another episode of Take Up Space. During this season, we're exploring stories of survivors in our community and passing the mic back to them. So today I bring to you
Latifah.
Thank you for being here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Latifah Najuf, and I am currently most of the time helping people find the best skincare that they need, and sometimes spending a lot of time with my friends and building databases. And you can most of the time find me in the park or in a cafe.
With an espresso martini.
With an espresso martini, yes.
I love that. Okay, perfect. Let's dive right into it. So,
Yes.
very broad question, but what has your healing journey felt like thus far?
It felt like multiple cycles of death and rebirth for most.
Okay.
That's the best way I can.
Death and rebirth.
Yes.
Okay.
So far.
Very powerful words. Okay. Do you want to maybe expand on this idea of death and rebirth? If you had to translate that to maybe like a 5-year-old, what would that sound like?
Healing is a process, and at this point, if anything, I understood that it's not linear and it never ends in a way. I mean, so far I have not seen an ending. So you'll get to a point where sometimes you're confronted to a reality that you don't want to face, whether it is you being a victim of a story or you being the one creating victims in a story. So it's not always nice to face it. It can feel, depending on the situation, it can feel like a death when you're on the other side of it, because that aspect of you is no longer existent when you acknowledge it, of course.
Yeah.
And then there's a new version of you that comes through after that. So it's a form of rebirth as well.
That was a really beautiful explanation.
Thank you.
And I love that even in the way you explain death, it does sound like a very heavy process, but I love the idea that it's like conducive to being born again. Yeah. So is there a specific moment that you feel like you could trace when it comes to when this healing journey began for you?
I would say maybe in 2017, perhaps. It was still faint, but I could feel that there was a change for sure in how I was perceiving everything. I was more calm, first of all, and more observant. And over time, it got stronger around 2021 to 2023. And now it seems like I'm more on the stable end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bamboozled.
And I think it's interesting that, like, as much as I did ask for a time frame, I feel like people interpret that differently. And in the timeline that you're sharing with me, there's a lot of like years as markers. And is it that this beginning, did it feel almost, was it on a spiritual level, a visceral level, a somatic level? Like, what is it about 2017 that made it feel like this is when healing was beginning? Outside of like, oh, I'm looking and processing things differently, was there like a big shift or a big pivot? And like, what else did that feel like?
If anything, I was finishing high school.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So that's definitely a moment where a lot of questions come up, especially as a teenager. And being a teenager is in 2016. I don't know why it's trending right now, but it was an era on itself. So if anything, that was that. Yeah, a trigger. Yes.
Yeah.
Changing seasons.
I see. Were there any unexpected parts of your journey? Or maybe something you didn't see coming that surprised you?
Having to sit down and not do anything.
Or,
It's extremely uncomfortable.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Silence is so, used to be so foreign. I did not realize just how much I depended on music to calm myself or process anything, even reality. So having to transfer my coping mechanism to more healthy ways of doing things and not distracting myself out of what's going on. Humbling.
Yeah.
Very humbling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the way you describe it almost sounds like it was like a meditative process.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like I should maybe meditate more often. Like when you're in a meditation and it kind of starts to feel like you're sinking, but then it kind of starts to feel like you're floating. But then it kind of starts to feel like maybe there's thoughts coming from everywhere, almost like there's like a monkey dancing around you.
Yes.
And now that I say that out loud, I'm like, oh, sometimes healing kind of feels like that too. But in your personal journey, how did you deal with the different moments of the process where things are processing?
It would be similar to meditation, honestly, on a bigger scale. Because, say, for example, something overwhelming happens. If I have the option, I will retreat and breathe as much as I can before having any response. If I have to try something that I'm scared of, I'll just jump and then I'll deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
All of these things are just, you have to dive and do it. You will not get the answer at the moment. And to this day, I still don't have a formula or a recipe that works 100%, but I can say that I am figuring it out very well. Yes.
That's beautifully put. Thank you. And who or what has been a steady hand for you to hold?
My uncle. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to expand on what your relationship with your uncle has been like and maybe why it feels healing or why he's a healing person for you?
Growing up, my uncle was someone who traveled often for work. He was not always at home, but he is the most intelligent person I have known growing up, whether it is emotionally or academically, his career even. He is just very intelligent and kind, an extremely kind soul. And so growing up, it was a blueprint of what I wanted to be or values that I wanted to reflect because he had a life and a presence that I would love to have as well. But as I am growing now, or as the baby idol that I am, it's like I see aspects of him that I really love and aspects of him that I'm inspired by, but wouldn't want to replicate for myself.
Interesting.
And at the same time, the reason he's such a big pillar for me is he has always been such a support in my life in any form or shape. Anytime I don't rant actually, but I rant to him. I don't complain, but I definitely complain to him.
Yeah.
I don't ask for help often, but if I find myself surrounded by just walls, he's the first person that I think of. And yes, my main pillar for sure.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I feel like another really beautiful, tender part of listening to you describe him as a person and your relationship, it sounds like he's not just a pillar, but also you use the word blueprint, and you use the word inspiration, and everything that's been your healing journey and him being a container for you and so many of the things you've been healing from and feeling. What do you think it is about him that makes him feel like such a safe space?
He is, how can I put this? That's an excellent question. I have not thought that far about.
That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's okay.
I'll have 10 pages of journaling to the day, but
That's okay. That's that. So that's lovely.
he's just generally a kind person, honestly. Whether it was with myself or other people, for example, and generous too, I'll have to mention. I don't know if it's the Leo in me or not, but I like generosity in a person. And my uncle has always shown me examples of that growing up, whether it is to give charity rather often or to speak to everyone with kind words, try to understand what somebody is saying. He would never jump to conclusion before hearing someone or what they have to say. And most importantly, he treated me like an intelligent person. Yes, like just a human being, not a child or an adult that is in the body of a child.
I hear you.
You know. So the relationship that we've had when I was a child to this day feels similar, as if not much has changed. We talk to each other as often, which is like what, once every 2-3 months, or we oddly enough, I haven't seen him in years.
Okay.
Probably 10 years now. But even through all of these transformations that I have in my life, I was able to be static with him. Not static, but not much changed.
It sounds like there's like almost like a safe consistency.
Exactly. There is no performance, there is no acting, there is no lying, there is no nothing. I'm just existing, and he as well.
I love that. There's no mask. And if healing had a texture, a taste, a sound, or if it was something you could hold in your palms, how would you describe it?
For each or a general?
There are many questions, and it's really for you to interpret as you see fit.
I would say something like velour.
Oh.
Or satin, silk perhaps. Velvety, chocolate cake.
Okay.
Yes.
Like a texture.
Not fondant.
100.
Moelleux. Molten. The molten lava cakes.
Oh wow. Okay, that's a great metaphor. Okay.
Yes.
And is that okay? I'm almost trying to understand it, but I feel like it doesn't need to be understood. That's beautiful. Okay. So in moments where you felt most like yourself, or maybe even like a new version of yourself, and that could kind of even relate back to the rebirth that you were speaking about earlier. What do you feel like you were experiencing?
It was unlocking layers of myself instead. So every time that something significant or a significant change happened inside, it was pretty much another layer of me doing what I want and being myself more honestly, whether it is with myself or with people, or maybe having a better level of awareness. Something like that.
Yeah, I love the idea of almost like peeling back layers.
Yes.
And showing up as a more and more authentic version of yourself. And as that relates to like your healing journey and your survivorship and surviving maybe some of the hardest moments in your life, the whole idea of peeling back layers. I'm trying to figure out how to word this in a way that's tender. Um, if you could go back and maybe sit with yourself in those moments, are there any words that you would offer to those versions of yourself?
Gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely gets better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
If I had time with my past self, I would just drag her into dancing with me more than anything else.
Oh, I love that. I love the visual of that. Oh. I love that your uncle is such a beautiful figurehead for a healing person in your life. And maybe if we were to explore more so the what instead of the who, are there any specific tools or like healing modalities that have really resonated with you? Things that really shaped your journey?
Definitely, I have 10,000 in my mind right now, for sure.
Please.
Yes. I love systems. And something that is really fascinating about human beings is we work in patterns, habits, cycles, so and so. So you can hack your way into everything, quite frankly.
Let's see.
I don't know if I should say lucky, but I love and I'm really happy that one of my hobbies is movement. And whether it is somatic healing or just processing emotions that are overwhelming, moving helped me so much. Whether it is dancing, like I said earlier, in my house or doing weights, any type of sport that I would practice absolutely helped. Another aspect is like taking care of myself. And even working out would join that, but taking care of myself altogether and for what it means for me personally is to like how I look like, how I sound like, how I walk, how I feel, how I smell like, all of those things. When I like it, I feel good.
Yeah.
And I am more comfortable being perceived. Whereas when I don't feel like myself, I don't want anybody to interact with me at all. So investing in myself and how I want to perceive myself absolutely helped. And getting in the sun, touch grass, go on walks, drink water, all of those very cliche, extremely cliche advice that are repeated all the time are repeated for a reason. They actually work. I am not the most consistent with them, but doing it once a month is better than doing it 0 times a year, you know?
Yeah.
So for a what, all of those that goes under the umbrella of self-care and a lot of adventure. Yes.
I love that it sounds like you have like an amalgam of systems that work in your favor, really. I love that. When you feel most like yourself, because I'm hearing you share all these beautiful parts and pieces of like what allows you to show up in the world as you and a version of you that you can look at and kind of like fill with love. And if you had to almost describe yourself to a stranger, what words would you use?
I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay.
I don't know. It depends. The question is difficult because I do perceive everything in layers too. So if I were to introduce myself to a stranger, I would just give them, if I do give them my name. So depending on the context, I don't know. Say for example, we were to meet for work. Hi, I'm Latifah. How are you? Introduce yourself. I currently work in skincare and I do customer service as well as CRM and marketing. All of these things are work related. But if you were, for example, a stranger that I met at a club with a hi, I like this type of drink. I like your outfit. You look good.
Yeah.
So that's a very hard question for me.
No, that's fair. That's completely fair. I'm trying to think of, I have a question in my head, and I almost am thinking that if you had to introduce yourself to maybe a younger version of yourself, what would that sound like?
Hi, I'm everything you want to be.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay. And what do you think that younger version of yourself would say back to you?
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And something that's really been in my mind as we've been recording these episodes is the whole idea of archives and collecting stories. And I think even when you think about it culturally, and whether we're talking about griots and storytellers, but also the whole idea of taking taking the time to really record and archive parts and pieces of ourselves. So say this part of your story, if it were to meet someone 100 years from now, be it maybe a descendant or a complete stranger or another survivor, what would you really want them to know?
That I really love life and being alive
Yeah.
and enjoying it. I love people. I love stories. I love the universe. I love stars. And everything that makes life really beautiful. Yeah. I mean, there has been a part in my life where I would not have been saying everything I'm saying right now. So I would really love for the memory that I leave behind me, or the archives, like you said, is a story of enjoying life as much as possible in the best way that we can.
That's really beautifully put. It's also making me wonder that maybe if you were to run across someone who maybe was in a place in their healing and their survivorship where it feels like they've maybe fallen out of love with life or fallen out of love with themselves, what pieces of advice would you offer them, or maybe what parts of your healing journey would you want to share?
First, it would be to just accept where they are. It's okay to be like sad and depressed and so on. So it's not out of the blue. You actually have reasons, and it's okay to acknowledge them and give yourself the space to cry and be sad and be angry or any other grief step that you're in, and to start with indulging more and more into what you already know makes you happy or makes you feel light or present, and build on that. Because you can be, for example, interested in the nature or water or painting, for example. You paint, and then you find out, oh, there are different art styles. There are different ways of painting, different materials, and so on. So it will encourage you to give your attention to something that you will nurture and care about. Even if the results will betray the effort, sometimes it's okay. But just having something to nurture will shift the attention, and eventually, for the time that it would take, get closer to more people, get closer to nature, and get closer to yourself as much as possible, and practice what makes you happy.
That's also very beautifully put. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's that think? Be in the grass and be with yourself. In some of the healing modalities you were sharing earlier, when it comes to movement and caring for yourself, I feel like there's almost like a really beautiful, like innate understanding that to heal, you have to nurture yourself.
Essentially.
Yeah, almost like a plant. Almost like a plant.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how exactly to word this as a question. Um, but even if we were to specifically explore your relationship with movement and how that ties into healing, what do you think it is about movement that makes it feel so nurturing for you?
It's one of the first ways in which I discovered that I can meditate without sitting in silence. Because meditation was so intimidating for me in the past. And I could not sit 10 seconds without having the thoughts rushing everywhere. But then I noticed that when I am, for example, lifting weights, I'm so focused on the movement itself. Am I in the right position? And so on. So it was a way to be present and at the same time take care of myself. So only goods, only greats. Yeah.
Okay. And say we kind of visited the question of if this were to land on a stranger and you had all this really beautiful advice to offer, but say this interview were somehow to meet a younger version of yourself. Is there anything that you'd want to share with her?
We don't need to take everything at the same time at once, if anything. That's something I would say to myself for sure. You don't need to figure out everything all at once. It's okay. One at a time. One at a time. One project a year, perhaps. Because there are so many things that we cannot calculate that are happening around us and out of our control. And being always so fixated on being better, doing better, being a better version of ourselves and so on. So can be really lost in the plot very easily and get overwhelmed. So approaching everything one by one until you build a habit or some level of consistency, and then you get to something else. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you.
I love that.